Hey, what's up, yo? We back down here at the spot again, and we got some snow last night. We got about 2 or 3 inches down here on the ground right now, but I just wanted to get back out here. I got the crony set up right here, and I got the MA2 back out here again, and I just want to get some crony numbers. We haven't been able to get no crony numbers with this last tune, so I have the AEA 45 grain pellets now, so we're not using those 4475s because I ran out of the Hades. I got more at home, but I had these in the car, so the FPS might be a little lower, but this will still give us an idea. So for the next 150 shots, we're going to be using these AEA pellets at least. We're going to see how these do. We'll get these sighted in at 16 yards where I'm standing now. And I got no targets. We're just doing this for the numbers. So let's see what we get. Let's see where we're at. We are at 3,600 on the fill, so let's see what's up. This shit keeps giving me errors, so this motherfucker better give me a fucking reading here. So let's get this going. The recycle place is open today. All right, let's see what we get. 839, 834, 852, duplicate 852, 851, 855, and now the snow is giving me errors. Let's see. So the last one was 855. No reading on that one. I think I have one pellet left. Yeah, I have one pellet left. And that was an error too. So let's shut this off again. Turn this back on. So we are out. This mag is empty. So let's get another mag in there. Again, these are those AEA pellets. Let's see if we can get some readings. 847, 846, 847, 839, 829, 820, 800, 790, and empty. So yeah, it looks like I need to turn this hammer spring back up. You know what I'm saying? To get it back up there, because now we're back low again. So we are at about 1900 on the fill, and we are down to about 17 on the reg pressure. So looks like I'm gonna be turning the hammer spring back in clockwise at least another quarter of a turn. We'll get it back out here, confirm those numbers again, and see how we do. Now, even though it's cold out here, this gun has been in the house since the last time I had it out there the other night, so the air was warm in the gun. You know what I'm saying? I just brought it out to the car when we came out here to do this, you know, to get these numbers. So yeah, I guess I got to turn that shit back in another quarter of a turn clockwise to give us some more energy on that hammer spring. So cool, we'll see how that does the next time I do that. And that's it. Quick numbers. I gotta go get my bottles refilled, and then after this last fill, I think I gotta turn my big bottle in for hydro testing. So I'm gonna be missing my bottle for probably a couple months. That's what the scuba place told me, is that when we send it in, it'll probably be gone for a month or two before I get it back. Hopefully it'll be quick. So we'll see. I'm gonna try to head up there today, get the bottle refilled for one last run for the winter, and then probably in January you know, I'm just going to use up all the air, and then January, February, I'm going to send that bottle in, and we'll be working off of the pony bottle. So we'll see how that goes. All right, so now I'm just yapping. We got our numbers. They went down. I got to crank the hammer spring back up, get those numbers back up there, and then we'll go from there. So until next time, deuces. Hey, what's up, yo? I'm back down here at the spot again for the second time today, and again, I got the crony out here with the Macavity Arms MA2. I'm fucking freezing right now. Shit, it's colder now than it was earlier this morning. But I came out here earlier and I did that hammer spring adjustment, ran it over the crony, and the numbers were lower than I expected. So when I left here, I said I was going to go back and turn the hammer spring in another corner of return to add some hammer spring tension. I decided to change my mind, and I think we're going to try something different. So what I did is I left the hammer spring alone, but I went back in and I readjusted the regulator. So now we are at like 1900 PSI instead of that 23. So I just want to see, first off, I don't know if I'll be able to get any readings because it's getting dark. So let's see if I can get some FPS. Bring this shit a little closer. Let's see if we can get some FPS on this and see what happens where I leave the hammer spring where it is, which is a full turn counterclock in from default, and we turn this down to 1900 PSI. So I have those AEA 45 grain pellets again. So let's see if we can get any readings on this. Hopefully we can. So let's see. 820, 819, 823, 820, 800, 797, 814, 816, and I think that's it. Yep. So, okay, so with this tune, so we're still right about 24 PSI on the fill, and we're still under that, you know, we're about 1900 PSI. So that was low. So I think what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to try to turn the hammer spring down, you know, bring it down. I might even do a whole full turn just to see what we get when I come back out here next time. Because if I could use less hammer spring, less air, and still get the same FPS, then that's what I want to shoot for. And now I'm babbling, but I want to tell you why I'm trying this. Is I just saw a video, what's the name of that? I think it's AEAC. I don't know the name. It's a wicked long name of the channel, but he was sitting there shooting an FX pellet gun, and he was getting 900 FPS on a 30 cal with less than 1700 PSI. So that's what I want to do with this. If I can get this shit down, if I can get 900 FPS out of this, where it's shooting less air, less hammer spring, then that's what I'm going to try to do. So that's my next fucking goal. God, the fucking wind is coming behind me. But that's what I'm going to try next. So I'm going to turn this down a bit. Maybe a half a turn, a full turn, I'm not sure. But I might just do a half a turn. I don't know, I'm yapping, I'm babbling now. But that's my plan. Next time I come out here, this is going to be turned down a little bit. And we're going to see what we get. So until then, deuces. Hey, what's up, yo? I'm back down here at the spot again, and it is fucking cold out here right now. It's like 14, 15 degrees out here, and as you can see, I got the crony, the MA2. I gotta do this quick because I don't want this to freeze up, but we're at 3600, and I did another adjustment on this, and I don't know if I showed yesterday, or you know, the last one I did was yesterday, but we're down to like 1800, 1900 PSI. And what I did is I went back in and I actually turned the hammer spring down a whole turn, another full 360 turn counterclockwise to take pressure off the the hammer spring or whatever. So I just want to get the numbers. I want to see where this shit ends up. So let's try this shit out. I got a mag of those AEA pellets, the 45 grain ones. Let's see what this does. So we're down to about 1900 on the reg, and I am 2 full counterclockwise turns out from default, and I'm a full counterclockwise turn out from the last shots I took yesterday. So, and I think yesterday I got like in the 800s in the teens. So let's see what we get now. 796, 867, 816, 811, and then I just got an error. 805, 809, 795. I got 1 pellet left. And 811. So that's still low. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't lose anything. It was bouncing all over the place. And now we are at about, what was that, 28, 26, about 25 PSI. And we're still at that 1900 on the rig. So, I don't know. I got to think about this one. I want to make another adjustment. I just don't know if I should turn the hammer spring back up, or do I turn it down a little more and see if we lose velocity? So, I don't know. I'm gonna take a ride, drink a coffee, think about this. If I can get back out here today, I might make another adjustment on this just to see. I might turn the hammer spring down. I don't know. I don't know what to do yet. So I'm gonna think about it, and I'll get back to y'all again as soon as I can get back out here, So until then, deuces. Hey, what's up, yo? I'm down here at the spot again for the 4th time this weekend. Let me see if I can get that sun out of... Oh, shit. I think we're stuck with that. I'm gonna have to block it with my big ass head. But we out here for the 4th time this weekend. I'm just fucking around with the regulator on, the Macavity arms, MA2, and the hammer spring. And damn, it's fucking cold. Why am I unzipped? So basically what I did, I'm just kind of keeping track of this, is I went and took this thing apart at least 2 different times today. And I got the regulator, I now have it set around 2100 PSI. And we are filled at, 3600. And I just want to get it again for the 4th time this weekend over to Crony. See what we get for some numbers here with these AEA pellets, these 45 grain ones. I'm just trying to find the sweet spot on this rifle for a tune. And right now, what I have for the sweet spot is where we hit that steady 850, 849 FPS. And that was with the 2300 PSI tune. And I think it was a quarter to a half a turn counterclockwise from default. So, and where we are right now is we're a full turn in from default, a full turn out counterclockwise from default to relieve the tension on the spring. So that's where we are, 2100 PSI, a full turn counterclockwise from default, and I just want to see what we get. So let's see if we can get this thing over 850, and then we'll play around with it from there. I'm just trying to find that the sweet spot for this. So let's see what we get. 838, 844, 835, 841, 836, 837, 838, and one more. 833. So, okay, that's a good start. I'm not sure which way to go next, but at least we're in the 830s. right now we're higher than we were with the last two tunes I had, because those were in the 18s, 800s, high 7s. So at least this is in the the 830s. So I have to find out. I might turn this in a quarter of a turn to give it a little more hammer tension, and then bring it back out here. I might come back out here today for the 5th time. I'm going to try to. So let's see if I can. I'm going to try to keep these short. So I'll be back. I'll try to be back. Deuces. Hey, what's up, yo? I'm back down here at the spot again for the 5th time this weekend. 3rd time today. Macavity arms, MA2. And basically I went back home, took the stock off, readjusted the hammer spring again, gave it another quarter of a turn counterclockwise, or a quarter of a turn out, to decrease the hammer spring tension again. Crony set up. Let's get these numbers. We are back up to 3,600. The reg is at that 2,000, 2,100. I got one mag here of those AEA pellets. So let's see. I wasn't sure which way I was supposed to turn on this one, so I turned it down. So let's see if we get an increase in FPS or a decrease, and I'll figure out if I have to turn it back to, turn it in, or do I keep turning it out, or do we find the sweet spot? So let's see what we get here. We are on fire. Let's do this. 837, 844, 840, 843, 838, 841, 8, that was an error, 825, and that was it. So we are down to 26 on the fill. We're still at that 2,000, 2,100 on the reg. So I'm gonna try. I think I might turn this down another quarter of a turn. So because that actually went up, we actually got a little more FPS except for that last shot. So let me see what I can do. I actually brought the tools with me, so they're in the car. So I'll be back. All right. So even though I'm back again, I'm still down here. I never left. I just went and took the stock off, readjusted the hammer spring, turned it down, or turned it counterclockwise, turned it out another quarter of a turn, and I refilled this back up to about 34. The bottle in the car is a little cold, so we're at like 34 PSI on the fill. Still at that 2,000, 2,100 PSI on the reg. So another mag of AEA pellets. Let's see how we do. So again, I just turned this down another quarter of a turn. So let's see what we get for FPS now. 828, 839, 833, 832, error, 840, 836, 833, and that's that. So I think turning it down didn't really do anything. So if I put it back, let me see what I'm gonna do next. I'll be back. All right, so let's try this again. I'm getting fucking cold. So I just went back into the car again, readjusted the hammer spring on this and refilled this. We're back up to over 3,600. Regulator is still the same as it been, that 2,100. And what I did is, so where last time with these last numbers, I had it turned down a turn and a half counterclockwise from default. So I just went and turned it back 3/4 of a turn. So we're now at 3/4 of a turn from default. So let's see if this brings up some FPS now. I got another mag of those AEA pellets, 45 grain. Let's see what we get now. $832, $840, duplicate $840, $822, $837, $838, duplicate $838, $834, and that's that. I don't know. So I'm not sure. I might do one more try just to see, maybe give it another half a turn in more. So that's what I did. I think I got it wrong when I told you. I think I said I turned it in 3/4 of a turn, and now, yeah, that's what so if I give another 1/4 of a turn in, that'll put me a half a turn from the default setting. So fuck it, let's see if I can give it a try. I'll be back. All right, back out here again. Never left, went back in, took the stock off, made another adjustment, another 1/4 of a turn clockwise to increase the spring pressure. So now we're a half a turn away from default, a half a turn counterclockwise away from default. I just went and reloaded the mags. AEA again. So let's get these loaded over to Crony. Let's see if this does anything. If not, then I'm thinking that the sweet spot that I found so far was 2300 PSI with that half or 1/4 to a half a turn in, a half a turn out. Let me start over. 2300 PSI was the sweet spot with a 1/4 to a half a turn counterclockwise or turned out on the hammer spring, a decrease on the hammer spring. That's what I've been trying to say. So that got me that 850. Turn it up a little more, turn it down a little more on the hammer spring, it kind of bounced from the 40s to the 60s. So, I don't know, we're figuring this shit out, right? So, let's get this over to Crony and see what we get. 820, 851, 847, 853, 836, 833, 850, 835. Okay. So 835, we hit the 850s. We're still down at around 25, 24 PSI. I might give it one more turn. Let's give it another 1/4 turn and see what happens. Fuck it. All right, so let's try this again. Again, I made another adjustment on the hammer spring, turning it clockwise, turning it in, increasing power again by another 1/4 of a turn. So we're now at a 1/4 of a turn counterclock from default. I got another mag of these AEA pellets. We're just wasting these motherfuckers. I'm not even hitting targets. I'm just putting them into fucking dirt. But let's see what we get with this. So I'm thinking that I need to bump the regulator back up to that 2300. I was hoping to be able to save some air, gain some extra shots. It doesn't look like that shit's happening, you know what I'm saying? So looks like I'm gonna have to bump this shit back up to 2300 and then come back out here. Hopefully the cold is affecting this, but we'll see. Let's see what we get now. $830, $838, $837, duplicate $837, $833, $840, $838, $837, and that's that. So, all right, looks like I'm right at that. This 2100 PSI reg fill looks like this gets me in that 830, 840 range with the current tune I have right now. I mean, what the fuck I got to lose? I might as well do one more, right? Let's just put it back to default and let's see what we get for numbers, because that was mid 30s into the 40s. So let's see. I'll be back. All right, let's try this again. So again, I took this off, made the adjustment, which is wicked fucking easy. The fact that I'm doing the shit in the back seat of my car with 3 tools. I got 2 Allen wrenches and some needle nose pliers. That's all you need to be careful not to hit that trigger when you're taking off the the stock. But it's that easy. Like I'm basically, one screw takes this off, and then I loosen the little grub screw that locks the hammer into place. Once I loosen that, I just make the adjustment with the needle nose, retighten, and then re-screw this back on. It's literally 5 minutes. It probably takes me longer to get comfortable in the car than it does to actual, to make the adjustment. So wicked easy. But right now we are all the way back to default setting on the hammer spring, the way I got it out the box. So let's see what we can get. I got another mag of those AEA pellets. Let's see what we get for some numbers. I'm going to determine if I'm going to keep this or am I going to reopen this back up and readjust the regulator back up to that 2300 and then go from there. But this little weekend's been a fucking mess, you know what I'm saying? But at least my battery's fucking dying on this. But at least I'm learning this gun, learning this regulator, trying to figure out, again, learning the gun, learning the regulator, trying to figure out how to balance the regulator with the hammer spring. So far I've just gone in circles. I haven't gotten anywhere really. So let's see. 2, 1. All right, this is just about ready. We have a mag loaded. Let's see what we get. No reading, it says battery. So of course I make the fucking adjustment, and I can't even get the reading now. I gotta go get me another 9-volt battery, of course. So that's just how it goes, right? Sometimes you just can't. Hey, we got a bunch of shots off. I might just go hit a store, get a quick 9-volt, and see if I can come back out here and get this shit over the crony. My pony bottle can't even fill this shit no more. I'm only at 3,000 PSI on this now. So I don't know. I might go refill the pony bottle. You know what I mean? It sucks that this thing couldn't hold out for one more round, but I got to get a battery in it. I might try to do that. I'm not sure, but at least, I don't know. I'll figure something out. I'll be back. All right, so I am back for the 18,767th time, and I actually had a spare fucking 9-volt battery in the bottom battery compartment of this shit. Who the fucking thunk it, right? So we're back up and running. I never left. What I did do is I refilled this back up to as high as I could, about 34, 33 PSI, and I refilled that one pellet on that magazine. So we got another 8 shots. So let's see what we can do with this. Let's see what this default tune gives us. 827, 833, 834, 835, 839, 841, 837, 836. So it seems that the default tune, or a quarter of a turn counterclockwise, seems to be the spot for this, where the 2000 on the reg, and when it's warm it pushes 2100 when I was in the house. Let's just make sure. So I think what I need to do, unfortunately, is I was really trying to save air and see if I could do it at that 21, 21 psi pressure. But I think I'm gonna have to kick this up a little bit and then bring this back out here and see what we get from there. But yeah, I think I'm done for today. I think I got all the numbers I need for this weekend. I mean, if I was leaving every time and coming back down here, this would probably been 8 or 9 trips down here. So it's a good thing I brought those tools just to sit in the car and fucking be able to do this. And one thing I do want to say about this before I do go, I know I talk shit about this a few videos back. I really talk shit. I didn't even know how bad I was fucking shitting on this. So basically, I'm running this thing fucking through the dirt right now. I'm just putting it through its paces because I really like this thing, and I want this thing to not only prove me wrong, but I want this thing to prove me wrong and rub my fucking face in it. So that way, when I come and say, listen, I was fucking wrong, this thing is going to be like, yeah, motherfucker, you was. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to just throw my word out there. I shouldn't have said what I said the first time, but I did. So I want to give this the chance to not just fucking make up, prove itself. Nah, I want it to fucking prove me wrong. Show me, fucking throw that shit in my face. And you know what I mean? Like, shut the fuck up, motherfucker. You don't even know what you're talking about, And so far, it's been doing it, My first couple weeks experience out the box, it was rough, but ever since then, I ain't had a fucking problem with this. You know what I'm saying? I put hundreds of pellets through this fucking thing. No jams, no issues, slight leak here and there. I think that was the hammer spring just being, whatever. I don't know what it was, but I'm not sure. But right now, this thing is working, even with that little piece broken, and the fact that it's holding up after hundreds of shots, so far, I'm really liking this shit. You know what I'm saying? So I'm still gonna put it through its ringer for a little while longer. Like I said, I want it to prove me wrong. I want it to, to really make me eat my words, because I really like this thing. Like, it's just nice. It's like the carry hole. Like, it's small. The fact that I can carry an air gun like this, it's nice. You know what I'm saying? So, all right, I think that's it. This shit's long enough. There's gonna be 18 million cuts for me to fucking do on this shit. But this is strictly numbers. We're back to square one. I didn't get nowhere on this shit, but at least we know, at least I know what this thing is pushing out. So I guess that's it. Now I'm just yapping, just kind of thinking out loud. But until the next time, deuces. Hey, what's up, yo? I just fucking did a round of shooting the targets. I'm at 16 yards. I hit 7 out of 8 fucking targets. Or I hit 7 out of 8 shots, and I forgot to hit the fucking record button. Oh, you fucking kidding me? The only good thing I got saving grace is I put this fucking scope cam on here, so hopefully we'll see how the audio and video does with this shit. It's still recording, so I'm all moving around, but hopefully this should capture it. I just sat here and talked for like 5 minutes and didn't hit the fucking record button. So you might hear it through the scope cam. I don't know how this is gonna work out. I'll figure it out once I get back home and start uploading all this shit. But yeah, I just wanted to get a couple targets in, a little Plinkin. So until next time, deuces.